Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Daily Bone Podcast, where we discuss all things crypto market, NFTs, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, meme coins. We got all kinds of stuff going on, and politics and religion.
Politics, religion,
we
gender reassignment surgery.
Today, we're going to discuss the crypto market bounce. A little slight bounce. I would call it a jiggle. More than a bounce, actually.
A juggle.
Yeah. We're going to talk about the little market jiggle that we saw yesterday. Some big catalysts coming for crypto coming out of the U.S. government and how to play the current meme coin market. We got all kinds of stuff going on more recently. But before we kick things off, Easy, how are you doing?
You know, I'm alive.
Did you buy the boat yesterday?
Yep. Got a boat.
Officially bought.
Yeah, on a boat. What are you drinking?
The smoothie, a little protein smoothie.
You made
My
it?
eggs, I had eggs that I was boiling, but they're not. I tried cracking them and it was not pretty. So I'm
It was a mess?
out there. Yeah.
What do you put in that sucker?
I put like a fruit medley, a berry medley more specifically. I put a banana, Greek yogurt,
Okay.
protein powder.
Okay.
When I have time, I put honey in there. But usually
Interesting.
it's the squeeze honey, so I can easily put it in. But now I just have this jar of honey. So I haven't been able to put it in more recently, but yeah, I have it every morning. It's pretty good.
Out of 10, what would you rate it?
Dude, it's so mid 7.2.
Wow, that bad, huh? You said
Yeah.
protein. What protein do you put in it?
Like organic protein. Yeah. I'm trying to look after myself, man. You know, like it's the key to being a peak performer in crypto is taking care of yourself. You know, you got to be locked in. You got to be making sure that you're taking care of yourself and advancing physically, mentally, emotionally. So hope everyone's doing well. GM to everyone in the comments. If you're listening on Twitter, we're also live on YouTube. You can go check us out at the Daily Bone to see all of us on video. And before we kick off the show with a weather report, I want to give a quick thank you to the partners of today's show, Awaken Tax, because ladies and gentlemen, it is tax season. And the tax deadline is in 2 weeks. So you want to make sure you are on top of doing your taxes. I know no one wants to have this conversation, but you want to make sure you're on top of it and getting your taxes filed. And there's no better place to do your taxes for crypto than Awaken Tax. There are partners. Easy is using them. Ray is using them. The entire team is using them. I was working on them this weekend. It's really easy. You can just you don't even need to 100% get signed up right away. You can just go to awaken.tax and connect all of your wallets, see what's going on. Use it as kind of like a portfolio tracker. I check it once a week just to see how my assets are holding up, and they've been going down recently. But Nick found he found like $30,000 in Solana that he didn't know that he had when he connected all of his wallets. So make sure to go use Awaken Tax if you are wanting to get ahead in the tax season, which is coming up in 2 weeks for the deadline. You can receive 20% off using code BODOGOS. Awaken.tax, ladies and gentlemen. If you own a Bodago, you'll get an extra code for 30% off if you go to our Discord. Let's frickin' rock and roll, Easy. We got a lot to talk about today. How do you feel about doing the weather report yourself?
You know, I was born ready for this. I was born ready for the weather report. It's something I strive to do more of every single day.
Yeah.
And that's something that I think I should be doing more of. So let's get right into it. Looking over the crypto roundup, the majors are up on the day with Bitcoin hovering around 84,000 United States dollars. ETH just a smidge under 1,900, and Solana at 127. USDC stablecoin issuer Circle hired JP Morgan and Citi to prep for IPO filings. They're targeting a $4 to $5 billion valuation and are slated to file at the end of the month. Next up, BlackRock CEO Larry Finkelstein warned investors in his annual chairman's letter that the US dollar could lose its reserve status to Bitcoin. And if it can't keep debt under control, BlackRock now controls over $50 billion worth of assets in its IBIT ETF. And finally, we will get a look at the US crypto holdings as the Treasury gets set to reveal Bitcoin and other crypto asset holdings this Saturday. This will provide clarity of which crypto assets are included in the stockpile, notably XRP, Solana, and Cardano.
Let's dive into that real quick. Thank you for the weather report, Easy. So we have the U.S. government is planning a comprehensive edit of its Bitcoin holdings this Saturday. So specifically Bitcoin, they're going to look into exactly how much they own. I'd be very curious to see like where's like the private key for this stuff. How many wallets do they have it in? And the U.S. Treasury.
If you could share the seed phrase, that'd be great.
The U.S. Department of the Treasury and other federal agencies are anticipated to disclose their holdings and other crypto assets, right? So XRP, Solana, Cardano. I'm curious if they'll be noted. I'm curious if they'll talk about some of the NFTs that they own. You know, they got a Bored Ape in there. They got a Doodle. And I'm sure they have a bunch of other stuff. I'm surprised, frankly, that people haven't made meme coins and set the U.S. government a percentage of the supply. We just run that up. So if you're listening to this, let's get on it, just in case the government like nukes the entire supply, and then we can just run it up after. Easy. Any thoughts on this?
To put it lightly, no. I think that we should get some more insight into what they're holding. Yeah, I don't know. I look at it and I'm like, yeah, this is interesting. But I'm not sitting here like, yeah, this is life-changing. Like we know what they have to some extent.
Yeah.
But does this really move
I
the
believe
needle?
Easy, your
so.
Wi-Fi cut out a little bit. Your Wi-Fi cut out a little bit. Or it might be mine. No. Let me know in the audience. Did Easy cut out for you? Okay. According to data tracked by Arkham Intelligence, the U.S. government currently holds 198,012 Bitcoin, currently worth around 16 billion. David Sachs, the White House's crypto czar, said that the government previously held approximately 400,000 Bitcoin that they've gotten rid of and have sold, which has not been great. We have people saying that you did cut out for them.
No.
Let's talk. So let's check in real quick on the crypto price action. We have Bitcoin at 83,700. We had Ethereum. We have Ethereum at 1870. Solana at 127. Easy. I was watching your stream yesterday, and you compared the price action of the S&P, I believe, back to the pandemic, and
right before Trump's previous election cycle.
Can you pull up that chart? Because I thought it was very interesting to listen to, because there's two scenarios that you were walking through as far as comparing the historical dips and whether or not it's the same dip and we're kind of set for a prompt recovery, or if we see another like 10 to 20% haircut.
Yeah, so we need to look here. Please share.
Yep.
I realized I'm not on the admin account. So this was the previous Trump tariff situation. We got it from September to December. We're currently looking from February, probably ends in May, which has been kind of like what I've been hoping for. A lot of people are saying that we're going to get a nasty recession though, which is scary. But a 20% drop or drawdown in the S&P would put us around like 492. For Bitcoin, if we had the same thing here, I don't know why it's giving me this little blurb.
But if the S&P drops 20%, that's like a 40% discount for Bitcoin.
Roughly, yeah, right. Like
30.
We look here. We are current. This would be 20%. We're past 20%. We are actually closer to 30%. So if you want 40%, we'd be right around. Oh yeah, right around this yellow line, 64K.
So you said the Bitcoin, the S&P is down 10% right now from its all-time high.
Roughly, if we looked, S&P is down, 10%, about 9.
And Bitcoin is down 20, you said?
Yeah.
So walk me through that scenario you're talking about on your stream, because you're comparing it.
Yeah. Well, Trump's been in office before, and we had tariffs before. He had them basically from September to December, right? That's 2018. Then we had this beautiful run for 2 years off of this.
And how much was that dip?
This is 20.4%.
20.4%?
Yep.
Damn.
In 3 months.
Okay.
Which is like fucking crazy. So it's like 7% a month. It got really ugly, especially that December like decline. December 6th to like in a 20-day span, we dropped in 20 days, the market had the majority of its sell off 16%.
Wow. And I don't remember how this ended up getting. So, by the way, I highly recommend watching this on video because the chart and the visual is really helpful. But basically what we're doing is comparing the two pullbacks back from when Trump was first in office in his first term and the pullback that happened then and comparing that now. So your scenario is basically then, are you still under the standing that right now we might be in for another pullback given the previous historical? You think it's going to get ugly?
Oh yeah. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. Like I'm in the camp that we will still continue to see a decline across the board. S&P down. I think the S&P still has room to drop down pretty far, pretty substantially. Pre-market even right now is at like 566. We've closed basically every gap. So my fair value and like what I'm targeting is like just under 500 for the S&P. We'll see if we get it. I look at stuff like ETH, looks terrible. Bitcoin's drop would put us like a 40% drop. And the majority of it could come through April. Like,
yeah.
Because if we want to go to end of May, we'd be like right there. So technically it's like halfway right now, a little more than halfway of this decline, but we could just ride this trend line down. I got some short targets though. If we touch 85K on Bitcoin, I want to short. If we touch 1930 on ETH, I want to short. If we touch 132 on Sol, I want to short.
So is there a world for you? The thing that I personally have struggled with is I'm a perma bull on like Bitcoin. And the parts where that's gotten me cooked in the past is I don't take into account the macro factors. Do you think there's a world where, like we were just talking about, we have the US doing a full audit of its Bitcoin holdings? We have an administration that's the most pro crypto administration that we've ever had. Do you think there's a world where we see less of a bleed on Bitcoin or basically the broader crypto market, despite the market-wide kind of pullback on equities? You're muted. Here we go. Easy's still muted. But he's pulling.
I said, screw Bitcoin. This is the only asset we need. Gold.
Dude, gold looks beautiful.
Look at this fucking chart, dude. Dating back. Let's go to the monthly. Dating back to January of 1941. This looks like a pump fund chart.
This chart looks ridiculous.
This looks like the routine chart.
Yeah, for people listening, we're looking at the gold chart right now, and it is a pissed missile. And
you could have accumulated gold between 1941 and 1972 under $50, and you'd make generational wealth. You had 30 years of accumulation, well before any of us were born. Just saying, except for Nick. Nick could have came out the womb and been able to buy gold and been up huge.
I look at this chart, and for me, this makes me like it's hard not to be bullish on Bitcoin. And I know with everything the government's doing and how bullish the
Bitcoin chart looks very similar to gold. Like everyone's like, oh, they're not correlated. It's not a flight to value. It's not trading along gold. It's not gonna trade along gold. It's a totally separate like asset. This is like, once again, you head from 2009 to 2017 to buy Bitcoin under $1,300. Chart looks good.
Welcome to the show, by the way, P.O. We were talking about gold. We were talking about dinners at 5, and of course, we get the man himself joining. Do you have any take on this, P.O.? We were basically talking about, Easy was comparing the tariffs from Trump's first term and how we witnessed a 20% pullback in the S&P. We're only experiencing a 10% pullback so far in the S&P. And Easy's basically saying that we have a little bit more bleeding to go. The thing I'm wrestling with is it feels like we could see like another pullback, but it's hard not to be bullish on Bitcoin as a whole, regardless of where the market's going, just based off of how many institutions are trying to buy Bitcoin, get their hands on it, and the government being like, we have the most pro Bitcoin and crypto administration we've ever seen.
Yeah, I think that there could be pullbacks. I think that time is in our favor. I think the more time goes by, the more likely it is that the market picks up again. So could there be short-term pain? Absolutely. But I think that as time goes on, the market will care less and less about the tariffs. I think that we're going to get rate cuts. I think that we'll get a pivot to quantitative easing. And I think that there will just be more bullish catalysts for Bitcoin specifically, and then that'll bleed into the rest of, quote, crypto. I don't have interest in buying gold. I bought physical gold in 2020 and physical silver right before the silver squeeze attempt. And that was where silver sold out globally. And then the price of silver went down. And that was enough for me. I didn't need to see it.
I lost my mind on that because I had silver call options back then. I was trading like just specifically silver. And then everyone was just like, oh yeah, JP Morgan manipulates the shit out of the price of silver. And I was like, yeah, clearly. Like, that's a fucking joke.
Yeah, they had to pay a multi-billion-dollar fine for manipulating the price of gold. So it's just like a well-known thing that JP Morgan has manipulated precious metal prices. What's up, Nick?
Did you guys get paid as part of that lawsuit?
No, we didn't.
Oh, weird.
Gold holders did not get broken off by that lawsuit.
That's fucked up, dude.
Yeah, I'm gonna buy 75 more shares of GameStop today, and sell call options on it.
You have 25 so far.
Yeah,
got it.
I'm down $90 on my purchase of 25. Down bad.
So, okay. So it's $22 a share. So you're going to get
$1,600 worth, and then turn around and sell call options on it immediately. Because the implied volatility of GameStop has now reached the implied volatility of MicroStrategy. So I predict options premiums to pick up.
But it's only it's 10% of the cost of MicroStrategy stocks.
It's Medge.
Yeah, so you can get 100 shares a lot easier. So you're going to be wheeling and dealing that thing.
I'm going to be slinging it because I also don't care about selling it. So I'm going to just wheel the shit out of that. I already sold a put on it, so I'm already in the game.
Love it. Love it. Let's go. Easy. Have you started buying any of these dips? I haven't heard you talk about buying. You have?
Very small. I've been buying Solana again. That's like obviously the one I'm most interested in.
Are you buying GameStop?
So to be honest, I've made one equity trade in the last like 60 days, and it's Fiverr puts. That's it. Just shorting the shit out of third world employees. And I think it's going to pan out beautifully. Yeah, I mean, I've done very little on the equities front. I mean, for that, I'm like such a boomer when it comes to my equities account. I'm in like some super dividend ETFs and shit. Like, I don't know. I just don't want to look at that as much. And like, I sit here and just enjoy the crypto stuff significantly more. When my port from equities goes down 2%, I'll have like my dad text me and be like, market's in a bad place. And I'm looking, I'm like, dude, I'm down 64% on Kakinu or like something absurd. I'm like, what do you want me? Like, you want me to be upset that the stock market's down 2.5%? We were just looking at the S&P, and it's like right now we're down 8% on the S&P over the last month. Not even. Like, we can even look at this right now. That's like, this doesn't feel bad. And I think it's just because I'm so desensitized to like bad price action. We're down 9% right now from high to low on the S&P this past month. So in March, we dropped 8.6%. I look at Bitcoin on the past 2 months for Bitcoin. It's down 20% the last month and down 26% the last 2 months. And I still don't feel bad. I think I'm just so desensitized to like poor price action. But at the same time, I'm like, yeah, I do want to start buying some stuff slow, like very slowly. I had a friend text me yesterday who's been like in and out of crypto. He's always curious to hear like when I'm starting to deploy. He's like, I have 300 grand. I want to start buying stuff. Should I buy heavy here? I'm like, no, like absolutely not. I was like, you should feel comfortable a tiny bit just so you have exposure. But I'm like, I would be very cautious buying any substantial size here. Because I'm even like looking at charts, I'm short on a lot of stuff here. I want to be short. Like Bitcoin, 85K in this circle, I want to be short. ETH, I want to be short in this circle, like in the 1930, 1920 range. And Sol, I want to be short here at like 132, which is previous peak. It's kind of where I'm looking.
My buddy called. I had a similar thing happen where a buddy called and wanted to put in like buy a couple $1 million of Bitcoin, and he was like, "Well, he actually had it pretty timed well when he texted me that we were at the local bottom, the recent local bottom." And I was like, I don't know. I think it could go lower. I think that was around 80K. And then it immediately went up to 88K, and I was like, you're looking like a genius. And then it's pulled back since. I don't think, dude, we had looked at this before. I think our analysis was probably right when we went and looked at the charts, and we were like, yeah, we got till at least end of May.
Right before you came on, we just did the same thing. Right before you joined, we were looking at the sell-off from the previous tariffs to where we are. And I have that chart handy here. I want to just zoom out so we can see it, because you basically either need to look at like the weekly or the daily to get like a decent representation of it right here. But Nick, this is exactly what we looked at. From that October to December, we had that sell-off and then COVID. So then you had 2 years following. So we had the 3 months, which if you look is a 20.4% drawdown. Right here, if you drop 20.4%, you're looking from high to low, right about there, 21. So it put the S&P just under 500 at 484. Is kind of where we get. And that would put us to the end of May, start of June.
Yeah, I saw Bob Lucas. You follow him?
Yeah, I like Bob Lucas.
He tweeted about he said at least June was his guess. So yeah, I don't know. That feels about right. Yeah, I like your idea of shorting on these things. The problem is we don't get I guess we had a little short run there for a couple weeks, and it felt like everything was fine and dandy. Then we got the pullback again. I think those are the times, like you're saying, to short is when you're feeling like, okay, all right, everything's gravy now.
The market wants to run every single time. Every single time there's an indication it can run, the market tries to run, and then we just get smacked like over and over again.
Well, I mean, it doesn't help when the president is like, yeah, I want to do a 25% tariff here. Fuck that. Make it 50% tariffs. Wait a minute. Make it 75% tariffs. Actually, screw it. No healthcare for the U.S. residents. And you're like, what? Where did that come from? And then all of a sudden it's like, by the way, the stock market's going down and I don't give a shit. And it's like, okay,
working.
Well, we're in danger.
Also, I'm running for a third term. Elect me.
Absolutely crazy sentence yesterday. Fire. The last 48 hours, if you don't pay attention to like some of the shit that man says, I think you're out to lunch. It started with, we're going to have 25% tariffs. Then it went to, we're going to do 50% tariffs. Then it went to, if Iran doesn't come to the table for nuclear weapons, we're going to bomb the ever-living shit out of them. And then not even 20 minutes later, he's like, oh, I think I'm going to run for a third term. I can't tell you how, but there's some ways that we can make it work. And I was just like, what is this guy talking? It literally says you can't. And he's like, nah, we can figure it out. So I'm just sitting here. I'm like, dude, what is going on? Like literally what is even happening anymore? It's just none of it feels good. But at the same time, like when I look at the overall market from 2022 to 24, we did have a very nice run like across the board for the market, which is like seeing a pullback here isn't the worst thing in the world, in my opinion. Like we had a 43% move in 2 years, which is pretty good. Can't be mad about the S&P moving almost 50% in 2 years.
Can we do some TA on Farcoin?
And actually, dude, that is, I did it this morning too. Might be the best meme coin chart in crypto.
I bought a bunch actually on the last pump. I'm thinking of putting my entire meme coin bag.
I think it's a good move.
Same.
I'm not even joking.
Including
share the screen.
I looked at the Doge BTC chart and I almost vomited. The Doge BTC chart will make you cry. I was like,
this is like the most traditional cup and handle pattern I've ever seen.
Can we see the fart BTC chart?
Yeah, let's see if we can get Farcoin BTC. I don't even know if they're going to give me that pair.
If they're not giving you that, someone needs to make a platform where they do.
Yeah. Yeah. I think we can probably figure out a way to overlay it, but Farcoin is the best performer for quote the major. This thing's up 11% today. I love 11%
so much. I feel underexposed to it.
It made higher lows. Like, this is a good chart, dude. Everything about this is a good chart. You have a parabolic run, hard sell-off. If you believe in the Elliott wave bullshit, A, B, C, D, we should get an E up that goes like parabolic.
What percentage of your portfolio is this acceptable to have in Farcoin?
90.
60.
Like 5%? Is 5% too much?
One sec, come with a better question. How much crypto exposure do you have in a US dollar basis?
I'm not answering that question.
It's not enough. You need to take it a loan against it and put it all into Farcoin.
Like, is it crazy for me to have 10 grand in Farcoin right now?
Oh no, I'm thinking about putting 15 grand in.
USDT,
But I also have $47 million in crypto right now. So
yeah, I have 2 grand in Farcoin right now, and I feel underexposed.
we're competing. We're competing. Okay, I'm buying another $500 right now.
What are you guys buying?
This is the, by the way, this is the Farcoin Bitcoin pair. Yes, Farcoin USDT to Bitcoin USDT on the daily.
Wow,
this is a great chart, dude.
That's way better than fucking this Dogecoin one. Holy
this is a fucking good chart.
It's better than ETH.
Yes.
This is the best altcoin chart.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I think I clicked something. Should I move all my ETH to Farcoin?
You have to assume Farcoin's going to outperform ETH in the next like 6 months. You have to. And I have ETH as well. I have like 4 ETH or something, and I'm like, dude, I hate holding.
Dude, I can't get over this chart. It's gonna make a new all-time high like any day.
I think I have $150,000 of ETH. I think I may just like.
You should have $150,000 of Farcoin, Nick.
Dude, that means that damn, that's a lot of stagnant money. Like, actually.
Talk about stagnant money. Dude, I looked at my CryptoPunk today. What a god-awful fucking buy. Look at this. Look at this shit. I spent $133,000 on this on January 19th, right?
On a floor.
The exact same price of this ETH. By the way, so I'm up 1 Ethereum on my CryptoPunk. I'm up an ETH. That's the value of it right now.
Yeah. For those that are listening, because this is an audio podcast, he's down about 50%.
That's
and I'm up an ETH.
140 to 77,000.
145. Oh, sorry. It was
133. I'm
down to 77. Yeah, those are numbers.
We're yelling numbers.
150K of ETH's a lot, Nick. Just saying.
So, Farcoin is the bottom on it was, I believe, 250. I'm going to pull up the daily chart on Fart because, yeah, here we go. So the Fart bottom, the local bottom was about 240. And
yeah, the bottom of the bubbles right around 240.
And it's now back up. Kix Ray and I were comparing the Pepe chart to Farcoin, and Pepe had a similar pullback where it was like 90% or 85% after its Binance listing, and then it went on this just diabolical run to like 16B. So it's up 2x off the lows, but it's still the all-time high on this puppy.
I just bought another 15 or two grand.
Whoa.
Nick loves buying like meme coins stuff. Absolutely loves it. It's very easy for Nick to deploy capital into something like Farcoin. Very easy.
Yesterday we were like wrapping up the day, and I was like buying a random meme coin, and Nick was like, wait, what'd you buy?
Very easy. Dude, when Solana pumped like 1%, Nick was like, yeah, let's keep that in Solana. Like, just like if it's not called Bitcoin, it's very easy.
So shifting gears a little bit, we had USDC issuer Circle is moving forward with its IPO plans. They hired JP Morgan and Citibank as its underwriters. It's targeting, it's going to file publicly by the end of April.
Crap.
Targeting a valuation of $4 to $5 billion.
I should have bought more USDC.
That's going to be a sick equity.
It's going to $2.
That's going to be a sick equity.
I agree, Pio. We were looking at Tether. Guess how much let's do a quick roundabout. Guess
Tether?
how much profit Tether made in 2024?
$4 billion.
$4 billion? Pio?
I think it's I don't know. I really don't know.
Nick?
15 billion.
13.
That's nuts.
13 billion.
Hold on. Are we going to acknowledge my incredible guess?
That was a good guess. Great guess.
Bro, $13 billion for just taking dollars and putting them on chain.
Well, sure.
And there's no proof that they even have it backed. They've never been audited.
Well, assuming it's doing
super
well.
easy. It's pretty easy. I just like buy some dollars. I put it, boom, bada bang, bam.
I actually take them and I scan them and I upload them into the computer and they're backed.
Yo, so also just take a Tether. Look at, hold on. I just sent a link. Pull that link up real quick. They just
pull up the link.
They just bought another 9,000 Bitcoins. Like, this is a good company. This company is good.
They hold 100,000 Bitcoin.
This company is good. Like,
this is just from the Pio. This is just from the profits they make. They're reinvesting that into Bitcoin.
Yeah, because they're smart.
No, that's not the only reason that they have that. They also use it. They have a Tether was not just exclusively backed by US dollars. They were using a mixed bag for their portfolio, basically. I don't know what happens in the case where Bitcoin goes down, but yeah. Anyways,
100,000 Bitcoins is crazy. That's sick.
They're not playing around. I mean, so they just bought $735 million worth. They're just deploying capital. You love to see it. Tether, and we'll see what Circle ends up doing. Pio, that seems like a stock you would want to buy. You want to get some exposure to at the end of April. May roll some, do the wheel strategy on that bad boy.
There haven't been any good IPOs in years. Literally. I know somebody that works at the company Sneak. You heard of this company Sneak? Never heard of this? Cybersecurity company? Heard Chamath talking about it before. It's apparently like a pretty decent modern cybersecurity startup, whatever the, like Series G or whatever the hell startup. And they're just like not IPOing because, well, the past 4 years, like nobody IPO'd under Biden. Like nobody. Robinhood did right away in 2020, right after Biden got in. No notable IPOs for the whole 4-year term after. Insane. And they still haven't IPO'd. It's pretty nuts. But getting Circle across the line would be cool.
Yeah, shifting gears a little bit. We had Easy. I want to talk very briefly about NFTs. You made a couple NFT buys yesterday. There's our partner over at DeFi Dungeons. We're working with them, but they've been making some noise on X. Could you quickly break down why someone would want to potentially be interested in their NFT and buying one of their NFTs in particular?
Hey, real quick, I just wanted to shout out Pio on that stat. Hey, do you know when the largest year of IPOs was in the U.S. ever?
When?
The first year under Biden. There was 1,035. Do you know what the average is per year? Usually about 200. So there was 5x the number of IPOs in Biden's first year. But cool stat. I mean, it was a really interesting stat. Good.
They're like,
good one
we got to get
throw
this
out
across the. We got to get these across the line before it'll be impossible to. Better do it in the first few months under this guy. Otherwise, we're cooked. How many were in his second year? 5?
No, 181.
So lower than the average.
But 20. Not necessarily. If you look at 2008, 2009 financial collapse, you had a bunch of stuff.
Didn't you just say after 200 something? I was going off the number you had just said.
I haven't drawn the line. The average is probably around 180 or something like that. Here, I'll pull up the chart so you can see.
We have OX Fetty requesting a yes or no question session with Nick and Pio later.
Well, I listened to this podcast. It's an MMA podcast with John Anik, the main broadcaster, and he has a coach on. This guy, this coach Ray Longo, who's a real Long Island, New York boxing coach, thick accent, funny guy, like old school guy, right? And John Anik does a would you rather with him that has nothing to do with MMA. It's just like, would you rather, and it's so funny, eat eat your favorite meal every single day, but you have to have watermelon with it, or never eat watermelon again, or, you know, like random stuff like that. And he has like the funniest reactions to it. I feel like our segment is similar to that.
Yeah.
Anyways, this is the chart.
For people listening, we have the chart of annual IPOs from 2000 to 2025 and a clear blow off top, as people have called it.
Get the IPOs across the line early in Biden's term, dude. Get them across the line, because we don't know what's going to happen after that.
Well, if you sum up the total number under Biden, it would have been more than under Trump.
Well, if you take away the blow off top, because people were like, we got to get these things across the line right after.
I don't even know what that. What is it?
Why
because what are you talking? You're like, because Biden is going to prevent us from doing it. When do markets typically do well? Better under Democrats or Republicans?
The Democrats print the most money.
Okay.
That makes the market go up.
Anyways, it was an interesting stat. What podcast were you listening to where they said that?
What? That there haven't been any good IPOs?
No, about the Biden IPO thing.
No, I'm saying like you can't name a single good IPO in the past 4 years. Like zero. There's no big companies. Like no one has IPO'd. 1,000 apparently IPO'd the first year of Biden because they desperately wanted to get it across the line. Otherwise, they maybe like literally they would have been like, what are we going to do? Ask Kicks about this subject. But yeah, so like we'll see when like a Sneak or something like that IPOs. It'll be sick when Circle IPOs. That'd be super. That'd be awesome. We need more crypto equities. So you'll get Circle. You'll probably get Kraken. You'll probably get Gemini.
Reddit. Good IPO.
That's
2024.
That's the name to throw out. Reddit. That's a good name. Reddit's a good name. Let's see when the Sneak company IPOs.
And it's up 2x from when it IPO'd. Boom.
We got W weighing in. IPOs during Biden were all rugs. They're all down horrendous. IPOs and SPACs, biggest rug of 2021.
Well, SPACs definitely were.
Who is that showing some love? Usually just trashing everything I say. Who is that? Goes at me hard, bro.
No, he's a savage. He's a savage.
He's on the Mount Rushmore of going hard at me. Palantir IPO in September 2020. That was still under Trump.
Instacart.
Instacart's another big name, but that was in 2021, right?
No, 2023.
Wow, it took him mad long.
In a destructive Biden year, just devastation.
I mean, the S&P went up 40%,
as a result of Biden.
Yeah, you got two names. You got Reddit and Instacart. That's good.
Databricks.
Airbnb.
Databricks go.
Oh wait, they're not live yet. Sorry.
Airbnb was.
They're still they're like we couldn't get it across the line for years. Airbnb came out under Trump in December 2020. Snuck it across the line before Biden got it.
Snuck it across the line is hilarious.
Dude, these articles on Google are like it's just random sites that just lie. I'm like,
ask ChatGPT. It's never lied to me.
ChatGPT will give you some stuff in favor of Biden for sure. I tried to do something on ChatGPT the other day. It just hit me like hard. Like someone posted a viral tweet that was like, I had to say that I was retarded to get ChatGPT to make this picture, which is pretty funny. It was like, I'm disabled and that's why I'm having you do it. So ChatGPT is like, all right, we're good. We'll do it.
I'm trying to find which one it was. He's a funny guy. It's Dip Wheeler is the guy that made it.
Yeah, Dip, wicked funny.
Like what is okay? I'm not even gonna share this. Okay, well, we were talking IPOs. That was from Circle. IPOing expected at the end of April with a targeting valuation of $4 to $5 billion, and we were comparing that to the $13 billion in profits that Tether made last year in 2024. We also have
Birkenstock.
Well, I mean, personally, I wear nothing but Birkenstock footwear. So personally, that's awesome. Wait a minute. Birkenstock's 150-year-old ass company IPO'd in the past 3 years.
That's 2023, but apparently that was in Germany. I don't know. Hold on 1 second.
Who knows?
That doesn't fucking count. Also, speaking of German innovation, that's a great product.
Yeah, I was about to say that's your most compelling thing yet. You had to dig out Birkenstock's 150-year-old.
Well, I'm looking at some of them, and one of them is literally a fraud. Wasn't Lucid Motors the thing that this guy just got pardoned for?
He just got pardoned for.
Was that when they had the car in neutral and like were pushing it down the hill?
The crane. They had a crane move it. Is what it was.
It looks like there weren't many good IPOs.
No, there weren't. Birkenstock, timeout. I was way off. 1774 it was founded. This shit is older than the United States.
What did they do in World War II?
Oh, they supplied shoes for the soldiers, baby.
Oh, you know the rockin' Birks. They were fresh.
Yeah, dude, clean as shit.
Dude, the soldiers were rocking sandals through the snow.
You heard of D-Day? They almost called it Burke Day because of all the footwear.
They actually were the Birkenstock family business, while small, saw increased sales of their flexible insoles due to soldiers experiencing foot pain from uncomfortable boots.
Dude, you can't. It's like the Family Guy episode. You can't look up German stuff for between like 1920 and 1948.
Just wiped from the internet.
They were all.
There's no direct business with the Nazi regime or forced labor, according to AI.
But they may have gotten their hands on some insoles. Wasn't us.
What AI platform? Let's get Grok on this shit.
This is Gemini or the Google one.
Yeah, you cannot trust that, dude.
Grok's gonna hit you with like, hell yeah, they did.
Oh
Here's bet your ass we slapped some boots on those guys.
Oh my god. All right. Well, before we move on, I want to quickly give
not
a shout
Lucid.
out.
Lucid's actually a good EV car company. That is correct. It's Nikola Motors was the guy who got pardoned.
Oh, okay.
Nikola. They are right. I'm seeing the comments are crashing out right now. Yeah, it was Nikola Motors. Lucid is a real car company.
And there's another one, Rivian.
So Rivian's sick as fuck, dude. Amazon owns them.
So they IPO'd.
Well,
Wait, what do you mean?
No, they own a stake in it.
Oh, I thought they owned it. All I know is the SUV by Rivian was sick. I wanted that stupid thing, but it was like 160 bandos.
It's 160 bandos?
The SUVs is so expensive, but it's such a beautiful vehicle.
So Amazon owns 16.6% of Rivian. They invested $700 million in them, and they use Rivian for their delivery vehicles. It's pretty cool. Rivian.
Oh, we just said it's a majority share. Okay, yeah, I thought so. I remember that being a big deal because it was their fight against Tesla.
Yep.
Bezos dominating. I want to give a quick shout out to the partner of today's show, Awaken Tax. Awaken is the best tax offering on the market today for crypto traders. Everyone that you're seeing on the show today uses it. They just added support for SWE. Their dev is cracked. They're constantly shipping. You can go check it out. And you don't even need to pay to use it right away. You can just connect your wallet to use it as a portfolio aggregator, which our man Choose Rich Nick did. And he found over $30,000 in Solana from doing so.
40,000.
40. Well, now it's like 28,000. The tax deadline's in 2 weeks, folks. You want to make sure you're on top of it, and you can use code BODOGOS and save 20%. So go to awaken.tax, connect your wallet, get started on your taxes. Last thing you want to do is get caught with your pants down with 2 days before the deadline, and you're not ready to rock and roll. BODOGOS, you also get 30% off. Go to our Discord to learn more.
Can I tell you guys what I did this morning as soon as I woke up?
Please.
I initiated a full transfer of my traditional and Roth IRA from Fidelity to Robinhood.
How do you do that? Damn. Okay.
Robinhood made it seamless, connected through Plaid, automatic, which was not the case when I transferred from Vanguard, when I boycotted Vanguard because they wouldn't have the Bitcoin ETF. And Robinhood is giving me a 3% match on both transfers.
I love Robinhood.
And you can trade options in your IRA with the Robinhood user interface. Gonna look into margin too.
I think Pio's call on Robinhood is actually going to end up being a pretty good one.
I called it a year ago, and Nick said, I don't care if it goes up. I don't want it. And I actually agreed with you at the time, and it still was the right move because all things Bitcoin and crypto outperformed it. But if you're a traditional equities investor and you
recently said I want to deploy a ton of capital into it because of their prediction market. I was like, they're doing everything now. They have gambling.
It's so stupid.
Gambling, crypto, equities.
I can't with the prediction market stuff. I literally can't.
Right. It's literally gambling. It's literally like they're like, well, no, it's not gambling. You're just picking a side for the future. And are you on the right or the wrong side of the future? It's like, dude, they're like advertising the final 4 picks.
That is kind of crazy that they're doing this. But options trading is gambling unless you're like actually like traditional options trading is full on gambling.
Honestly, all trading is full on gambling. Yeah. I just think that it's much higher probability of winning than casino gambling, which I think is a fair call. Like buying Tesla stock with 10 grand versus going to Vegas with 10 grand. I feel like one of them is significantly higher odds of having some sort of return, you know,
over the long term. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but yeah, so
any other things that have caught your eyes in the last 24 hours, guys? We had Joaquin Holguin raise or try to sell his Doodle. I believe he delisted it last time I checked. We had Gutter Cat Gang.
Julian Homegrown Eats delisted his Doodle.
Easy just refuses to pronounce.
Can you pull up the NFT?
Yeah.
Also, where is Ray?
You look at the message in general team.
This is how you know Nick has never checked Slack ever. This man
does
not
have.
Slack
I saw him post tag me on something.
This man does not open it in the morning. This man does not give a shit what's sent on Slack. Does not give a shit.
This is popping pills on the show.
It's literally posted in our general chat.
It's a probiotic.
Let's go with the probiotic. Nice. Fuck yeah. Real quick, Alfalfa said that somebody bought it.
Oh.
Yeah, I didn't. That's what happened yesterday.
I was checking and I couldn't find where someone Alfalfa, if you know, can you share the
I bought it.
Doodle number? Doodle
That's diabolical.
I wanted to on the show. I wanted us to use company funds to buy to buy it and burn it.
That would be diabolical. The problem is no one would care. Like they would care for like a little bit on social media for like an hour.
A couple hundred likes.
Yeah.
For $12,000.
No one would care after. They would just yeah, unfortunately. Kind of
we also had Doodle co-founders, Poopy and Evan Keast launch Project 02, which says welcome.
I can't log into the site. It won't let me log in.
This was a mysterious project launch called a Project 02. They're doing a pre-sale for it. And if you want to real quick, I believe they've raised a few $100,000 on it. The pre-sale, I'm not sure if it's live, but I saw some people sending money to it. It's the classic mysterious pre-sale. Kicks weighed in on it in our Discord yesterday and said that it's either going to be the worst rug ever or the biggest no-brainer. Like, God damn it, it was so obvious we should have sent money to it. Nick, I was able to connect my wallet to it. Basically, you send Solana to this wallet or ETH or whatever it is. And, oh, shit, I sent one SOL to it yesterday. I forgot. Okay, so I did. Never mind. I'm not going to.
I sent nothing to it.
I think I sent one SOL to to track if it was going to go up or down or what the outcome of this would be, but we'll see. So, again, this is like hyper gambling. We were just talking about gambling. This is like the most degenerate thing you could do, especially considering I'm pretty sure Poopy launched a token back in the day on base.
Yes.
And it went to zero. Okay, there you go. There you have it. So that's who you're backing if you send money to this.
The whole like NFT saga of 2021 and all that is so insane, knowing what we know now and seeing how things like shook out. It's pretty crazy.
Cooked. Absolutely cooked. Some other quick stories from today. We had WIF announcing that they're going to return the Vegas Sphere contributions after they were saying that everything was set to put the hat on the Sphere in Q1 with our classic guerrilla marketing style. but announcing it had unintended consequences, and the Decrypt media spooked our partner. So they backed out. The SWIFT is not going on the Sphere anymore, and people are getting their money back. So the memes of that will finally appear to cease to exist. We have noise on Mega ETH testnet looking to be an interesting upcoming protocol. This allows perps trading of mindshare powered by Kaido. Kaido continuing to make moves there.
So this is friend tech, but sustainable.
Are you talking about Kaido?
What you just said, that integration with Kaido is friend tech, but sustainable.
Yeah. So, I mean, well, meaning that the creator has nothing they need to do on their end to like hold up the value of it. You're basically just betting on how people are going to perform. Yeah, but I think it's more specifically from what Tyler D is saying, more specifically just like specific broader narratives.
Okay.
So you can bet on like AI tokens are bullshit. I'm going to short their mind share.
It's okay. I like that. It's trending towards friend tech, but do you know what I mean? Like, you know,
this noise platform is the most interesting though. Like this thing is like way more interesting than friend tech in general. You are basically like, yeah, you're not even mind share. You're betting on like continued virality. And I do think they're going to end up doing more than just like chains, which is what it is right now. So Kaido obviously like giving you the option to now do like continued mind share of creators, etc. is interesting. But this does like wider. So like I've seen ICO Beast tweeting about this a little bit. I'm very interested in this. It's like a prediction market for mind share.
So that's very interesting. I think that's cool. Tokenizing different shit.
You're tokenizing virality, and it's not a meme. It's like, so they do it with perps. I did see there's like, they're still working through some stuff with it because like ICOB should have gotten liquidated on a trade he had and it didn't. So like there is some concerns too, like how they're going to calculate it and what they're going to do with that. Yeah, so I'm definitely interested in it. I'm very curious to see how it scales and what it looks like. But I think there's a market for it. I really do. Because like Fantasy Top is still chugging along. They're doing very well. So like people are still enjoying like betting on who will go the most viral on social media.
Clemente loves Fantasy Top. He's making $500 a week with it.
Yeah.
I mean, Fantasy Top is great. Easy. Do you play? Do you have your legendary on the use?
I play every single week. Every single week. I don't have nearly as much like in-depth data as you do into it because like you do significantly better. I think I'm making like $120 a week. I threw an ETH at it purely out of boredom, which was fucking dumb. And bought like some of the worst possible things I could have bought. I got like a rare thread guy card. Dude hasn't
Easy bought packs is what.
Yeah, packs. So like it was basically buying Pokemon cards. It was wicked fun to open them. I won't lie. And that alone was worth.
Easy just got the shittiest influencers possible.
It was the worst possible experience I could have had ever, like ever. But Clemente, to answer your question, I have 4 decks in right now, and I do that probably every week. 6 decks actually.
Nice. Let's go.
I play. It's fun. Oh damn, I have a bronze deck that's doing well.
Some other stories. We had DeFi Dungeons mint out and is doing well. It's up to a 4.2 SOL floor, up 3 SOL from its mint price. Easy, I believe you swept like 11 or so.
They didn't give us a allow list, which I'm not mad about. We do work with them. So me and Clemente are gonna be doing a little bit of a competition for like who can actually bring their hero farther, which I'm excited about. It's like World of Warcraft on chain. So like if you ever played that or RuneScape, I read the Git book. I dropped a video on it yesterday. I wanted the video to be 90 seconds. It's 4 minutes. There's just so much to the game that like even talking as fast as I possibly could, the video was like still substantially longer than I anticipated. But they were from the heist. And I know people who day one put $100,000 into the heist and printed $300,000-$400,000 just playing the game. Like they got so wildly into it and it made them a ton of money on it. But yeah, I swept 11 of these yesterday. There's a class called Bankers, which essentially lets you be the house in the game. So whenever people trade for the gold, it gives you like a percentage of that. They're trading for 40 SOL. So you ended up getting like a little more than a 12x if you minted one. There's only 250. I bought 3 of each character set. So there's 3 marksman, mage, and warrior. And then I think I accidentally swept 1 extra or 2 extra. So yeah, I'm excited to just play the game. I was a big heist player originally. And then I just obviously got distracted and stopped playing. But I made all my money back on that just playing the game in like a very short period of time.
These are getting some volume. I mean, however many.
Dude, look at how much volume they've done. Like this thing's done 15,000 SOL in volume in just a day. Like it's done some serious moves. And these today opened up, they were 3.5 SOL this morning. So you even see bankers selling for 40 SOL.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
40 SOL sale. I mean, that's huge.
There's got multiple. Like it's not just one. They're liquid at 40.
Do you know when the game goes live?
Goes live tomorrow, and I don't know if I'm supposed to share that, but there you go. Tomorrow. We're playing the game. I didn't ask if that was public knowledge or not, but
there you go. Some other quick hitters before we wrap. We had CZ burn $3 million worth.
Nick wanted to say something. It looked like Nick wanted to say something, but I don't know.
Nick, you wanted to say something?
It's too late now.
Got it. Well, I don't know how I got removed from it. What was that? Over $3 million worth of Tut and Broccoli BNB meme coins. Crazy story. Let's go. That's going to be our show for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks for tuning in. Catch you next time. Catch us on all podcasts, YouTube. Follow us on Twitter. Thank you to all of my amazing panelists today. We'll catch you guys tomorrow. Hey, yo. See you guys 9 a.m. Eastern.